It's terrible.
Everyone, we just finished watching Terminator. It's late at
What's
night.
it called, Sam?
Terminator Whammon.
Okay, well, it's
guys.
called Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah.
And I had the lowest of the low expectations going into this.
Look, I wasn't sure what it was going to be. I wasn't sure this was going to be some giant woke fest. You know, here's the Terminator, but like, we're bad chicks, woo! It totally wasn't like that. It was actually so well written. It was just like...
okay, I disagree with that.
I thought, like, you know how some movies have come along as of late, where like, we're gonna like jam things down your throat and make you like, you know, political correctness and shit. It's just like, it didn't matter if they were
Dark
male...
Phoenix? Like,
Yeah,
Dark
like,
Phoenix?
they
should call it Ex-Women.
Ex-women. It didn't matter if it was males, female. It didn't matter. It was so well written. It was about the characters.
I totally disagree with the well-written part, by the way. All right, let's just take it from the top, okay?
Let's go from the top.
This is another Terminator movie, except what happens in the very first scene.
That's a spoiler, though.
I mean, it's a spoiler, but like I feel like it does... Okay, let's just say this, right? It does some things that seriously fuck with the timeline.
Especially of Terminator 2.
So essentially there's one timeline that we're really used to with like John Connor and Sarah Connor and blah 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 and Skynet and whatever else, and then it makes a decision at the beginning of the movie that's like, fuck all that, we're gonna go this completely different time that's basically exactly the same timeline, just with some different names.
Yeah,
it's essentially The Force Awakens, but for the Terminator franchise.
Yes.
Okay, that's essentially what this movie is.
So fine. That moment was like a
I
little
accept
bit
your apology.
disappointing in terms of diminishing what the whole Terminator 2 journey was. Fine. But I ultimately think that the story, it really holds up, and it's my look. There's never going to be a better Terminator than Terminator 2. Does this, is this pretty good? Yeah, this is probably the best Terminator movie I've seen, apart from, of course, Terminator 2. I've seen quite a few of them, and this is, I reckon...
There's not that many to see, Sam. It's not like there's 15 of them. I've seen most of them.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? This is probably the one that gets the closest. Of course, it's a huge gap still, but it's... it's the best I've seen, you know?
I do agree. Oh, well, okay, look, here's the thing. I actually enjoyed this film, okay?
Me too.
So I think it's a good film. The action in this movie is off its tits.
Yeah.
No pun intended, right? It's such good action. Like, I cannot believe some of these scenes. They are fucking great. Like, I just love them.
Top tier stuff.
Oh, really? I just... You should absolutely see this film just to see the action scenes. Some of them... And, like, I would say a good probably 70% of this film is action.
Yeah,
like,
it's just explosions and things going off and Terminators punching each other and shit. But that's what you go for, you know?
Some of the fight scenes just between the Terminator and, you know, the person that's come to protect John Connor 2.0.
Yes.
Jane Connor.
Yes.
You know, some of the like the car chases, some of the in-air stuff that they've done. Like this entire scene on a plane, which is incredible. Like, there's a lot of shit going down that really makes this film worthwhile.
Totally.
And I loved it when it was doing that.
It was good to see Arnie come back again. You've seen him in the trailers. That's not a spoiler. And I'm so glad that he wasn't some shitty cameo, okay? So you will, like this isn't a spoiler. Everyone wants to know if this is going to be in it. He is going to be in it. Yeah. It's so good to see that. You know, I thought that the way they handled his character was very funny in some moments. He wasn't the same Terminator that we all know and love. Yeah, he's just a little bit different now. Look, I won't go too much into it. Just expect a different take on the original T-1000.
Yes.
Is he the 1000 or T-900? Or T-800? What, something like that. Just expect a different take on
Cyberpunk
him.
Model 101, Sam.
There we go, whatever it is.
So, look, I would say that I didn't like the fact that this movie had so much nostalgia bait. I would say this movie is a parody of itself at some times. It leans so much into old characters, old moments, old catchphrases, old musical riffs, old bullshit that you're just like, cool, that was great that you did that stuff back then. It's nice that you're doing a nod to it now, but it also shows the fact that no movie in this entire franchise has moved past the shadow of Terminator 2 at any point, you know? And so and this is my honest take on this film. I would have much preferred this film if it weren't a Terminator film. If you'd taken like a lot of its major pieces and just like ripped all the Terminator stuff out of there and put a new license with a new story and just a new world into it, I'd be like, this is a great film and I'd love to see a sequel. Obviously, you couldn't do like robots from the future protect. You'd have to mix it up a lot more.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the bones of this action film are really well done. I think the characters are cool. I think the female person who comes back from the future to protect Jane Connor, she plays such a good role.
Fantastic
like,
acting,
so
great a deep character that has a big backstory.
For sure.
Has her strengths and weaknesses and has her own battle throughout this whole thing, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I think, look, it sounds like what you are really saying is you would have loved to see all those action moments and a lot of maybe even the scenes just kind of ripped away from the whole nostalgia, right?
I think the story in this sucks. I think it's a betrayal of the Terminator franchise. I think it's just plumbing the nostalgia factor. And I think if you ripped all that out and put a good story in there that's new and builds a new IP, then I would say this is like a solid 8.5 out of 10 action film, and I loved it. You know?
I disagree with you because I really was waiting. Look, I mean, I went to see a Terminator film. You know, I wanted to see those nods to the past. I wanted to feel that nostalgia. They're going to have Arnold in it. I expect those nods to what happened. One of the biggest movies of his career, if not the biggest. You know, like I was expecting.
Don't forget Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero, of course.
Right.
No, it isn't possible.
What's not possible? He's fantastic. This is his best performance ever.
This is, for me, baked into the DNA of Terminator. I wanted to hear the musical motifs. I wanted to see some moments that brought me back to those times. I think they handled it quite well. Was it the greatest story ever made? No, but it was fine for an action movie. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting some sort of vehicle that just brings me to point A to point B with heaps of action. I get to see Arnie. I get to see just the Terminator world. And I think it was pretty good. And on top of that, the actual antagonist, I thought he was fine, you know.
He didn't do or say anything, Sam. How could you say he was fine?
But no Terminator and evil dude ever does. He's like, have you seen this boy? Like, that's all he
delivered
says.
that line really well, though.
He did deliver
They made
that
fun
line.
of that in Wayne's World.
Yes, they did.
Yes, officers, there's something wrong? Have you seen this boy?
Look, I agree. Like, he just did his thing where he did the serious face and he did the killing, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the point, though. Like, that's exactly the point.
That's what I mean.
No, that is what I mean. I mean that, like, you've got a character that's just exactly the same as what we've seen in the past. No evolution whatsoever. It's exactly the same story as Terminator 2, just like fresh coat of paint, push it out in 2019.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, give me my money. You know what I mean?
And more boobies.
More boobies.
So ultimately, guys, look, if you're looking to go and see a Terminator film that, of course, is in the shadow of Terminator 2, it's not going to rival it, it's not going to be better. I don't think they'll ever make a Terminator movie ever again that's going to be as great as that. If you just want to go and have a bit of a nostalgia hit, enjoy some action, see some great Terminator moments, go and see it. It's worth seeing. I would say if you're a Terminator fan, they've done a pretty good job on this. James Cameron was the executive producer. I don't know what that really means.
He collects a paycheck.
Exactly. Who knows how involved he really was.
Not
but
at all.
I do think that they've done a pretty good job of delivering a really decent Terminator, you know?
I think they did a good job of delivering a good action movie, but a terrible Terminator film. That is my view.
It's not a terrible.
I think it is a terrible Terminator film.
Oh my god.
This is an unpopular opinion. I'm the only person that likes Terminator Salvation, okay? The one with Christian Bale. Because, like, that actually tried to do some different shit. You know what I mean? Like, it really tried to
the God of War of Terminator.
Well, it's not a God of War. But, like, that was, okay, everyone hates that film, but I'm like, look, at least you tried to go beyond what... all the other Terminator films were the same thing. Cyborg from the future comes back, tries to kill someone here that's gonna protect the thing. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like, this is exactly the same shit as that, and I'm so tired of that story. I feel like Terminator Salvation took some punts and tried to do some different shit. This does absolutely nothing new, and also I feel like it just is hammy and goofy and dumb at times. And I feel like it's
we
a
usually
shitty
actually
film.
agree on most movies that we've seen with each other, but I think that people will have maybe have a mixed response. I think a lot of people, most people, will actually agree with me, but some people, a small minority, maybe that are a bit silly, will actually agree with Ralph. But all in all, that is it today, guys. Thank you so much, and I'm just going to quickly talk through this so Ralph cannot rebuttal. And thank you. We'll see you next time. Young out.